Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I'm bringing you guys a really good game I had in my Gross Occur first to tier 10 German battleship. And again, this video really is going to highlight how much the German secondaries are, how much they've been buffed, just with the when they got their pin buff and now with the IFHE rework. And it's really just amazing the amount of damage they do in this match. And again, I do have a full secondary build on my Gross Occur first. So for my captain build, I've got preventive maintenance, MLG turrets, BFT, AFT, manual fire for secondaries, adrenaline rush, and superintendent. Module build, again, all the modules are into the secondaries, and then I run the damage con modules and the concealment module, but the rest of them, secondary armaments mod 1 and secondary armaments mod 2. Mod 1 gives you the increased accuracy and a bit more range. Mod 2 or mod 3, however it's numbered, gives you increased reload time. Also on top of that, I do have Lucians as my captain for Gur first. And he has that special commander talent where when you hit 100 secondary hits, you get an additional boost to your reload time. So this is a just all-out secondary Gross Occur first. And I tried this game to be a bit more patient and more, I guess, calculated with where I went in my curve first when I pushed and what I did. Because normally, you guys know I'm usually hyper-aggressive to a fault. I normally push in way too early and just get into really bad situations, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but this time I decided to be a bit more, like I said, slow and calculated. So what I did right there at the start of the match, oh, and by the way, you see I have 21 signal flags on the curve first. I would recommend you go through and just slap all your signal flags that you can get on all your ships, because boy, does it make a difference in the amount of XP you get at the end of the match. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I cruised around at half speed for the first couple of minutes of the game just to see where the team was actually going. It's very important nowadays when you really don't know where your teams are going until probably the 3 or 4 minute mark. So I would recommend you do that. Just go a little slow at the beginning of the match, especially if you're in a battleship, and just see what your team is actually going to do. So anyway, the enemy Holland messed up and was detected early on. Our Worcester's tearing into him. I think he ate a salvo from another ship, and I sneak on in there and managed to blap him and get first blood. Kind of a kill still, but the way I see it, you want to get the enemy ship out of the game as fast as they can, as fast as you can, and get their guns just out of the match as fast as possible. Because remember, a ship at 1 HP is still fully capable of dealing all the damage it can to you and your team. So you want to get the enemy ships out of the game as fast as you possibly can. There's his torpedoes, easily dodge that. So, Massachusetts right there, I could have shot at him. He's 19 kilometers away, but would have made me detected. And here I'm thinking, okay, who do I need to go for next? The Buffalo. He has radar, and it would buy our gearing the ability to just run around without having to worry about radar. So, take my shot at him, and boy, they did buff German dispersion, but it is still pretty rough at times. So keep in mind now, with the secondaries and with the IFHE change, all the secondaries can pin 32 millimeters of armor, which means every secondary that's hitting the Buffalo is likely pinning him, unless it's hitting his belt, and there he goes. Musa finishes him off. Alright, now we got a Benson and an FDG. So select the FDG to be targeted with my secondaries, and there's a Yami looking at me. So you may have caught it earlier. He turned his turrets toward me, so I started to turn out to avoid his shells, and thankfully I turned just enough to where they bounced or just overpinned on me. So I took an unguided shot there at him and got a pretty nice hit on him, especially since it wasn't locked in at all. So now the Bismarck is pushing up on the FDG. He's also being shot at by the Benson. So I'm trying to help the Bismarck out and get this FDG down as fast as I can. And secondaries are starting fires, and they're hitting him. And yeah, they're not pinning everything on the FDG like they were on the Buffalo, but they are pinning more than they would have if they couldn't pin 32 millimeters of armor. Get a nice salvo there, 10,000 damage off on the FDG. And I start to turn here, so thankfully the Shokaku helped us out there and got the FDG down. And you notice there's an Impero in game, which is the new tier 8 premium, well, supposedly premium, Italian battleship. Ours just got sunk, so he had sap, and now he's dead. So again, Yami out there showing me broadside. So I'm like, okay, Yami or Massachusetts. Yami's further away, but he's broadside, so if the shells connect, they should do better, greater damage against him than a bow on Massachusetts. So now I start to turn away. Why? Because there's only a booster and a gearing with me. Thankfully, the Yami missed, or just got I think it's a glancing shot on my stern. And I started to turn away because this Alaska's charging at me. And I figured, well, he's probably a little kill hungry, so we're going to start to kite away now and reel him into my secondary range. I was going full throttle, but now I slammed it into reverse to slow down because I promise you, most players, they think battleships just run around at max speed because a lot of them do. Battleships are slow compared to other ships of their same tier, so most battleship players will just rock and roll at full throttle. I promise you, if you play with your speed, you will throw off the enemy team just immensely. From torpedo boats to cruisers with their guns, it messes with them. So this Alaska thought he was going to chase me away, but now I've stopped and he's within my secondary range. My secondaries are chewing on him quite nicely. Now the Benson did get detected, and the reason I didn't swap my secondaries over to him is that look at where he's at. One, maybe two turrets on the curve first could shoot at him, and you really need the whole. And there goes Luchen's skill. So now you're going to see my secondaries just going to be insane now with the reload time. One or two turrets could hit the Benson, but you really need the whole side going to get the full effect of just melting destroyers down. So it'd be better off if I just take out the Alaska, which is a very strong, very powerful tier 9 American super cruiser. And now that the Alaska's out of my secondary range, I then turn my secondaries over to the Benson, and again, only two turrets could really get at him. I do have my Hydra up now because the Benson is right there. So I'm trying to finish off the Alaska. Just take a little guesstimation about where he's going to be at, because he is going in reverse. And there we go. Shells complied. So that's the second kill of the game. The bench is still around. My Hydra's up for another 40-something seconds, and the booster just popped his radar, but he is not within radar range. Just the bench is playing it smart and staying outside of the radar range of the booster. But now we have this Massachusetts who's deciding to push up around this corner. I guess he thinks he can take on 3 ships by himself, but I did also realize now that our team is actually getting into the enemy cap, so there's a bit more pressure on these guys out west to push up and try to get into our cap. They still have a Yami and a Benson and a Massachusetts, a nice strong combination. But there's the Benson torpedoes being spotted by my Hydro. And ooh, Mass did not eat a torpedo, but my secondaries are trying to look at them go. I love them so much. It is actually a pretty close game, because we are in the cap, yes, but our ships are going down pretty fast. Broadside Yami, 10 kilometers away. And let's hope that does well. Massachusetts getting chewed on by my secondaries. I'm hoping they'll take him out. Good hit there. No Citadel on the Yami, though. Sad panda. But again, Massachusetts coated in 32 millimeters of armor. Every secondary shell's pinning. Alright, now I've selected the Benson with my secondaries to be chewed on. Because the Yami, he's engaging me from about 8 kilometers away. If anything gets within 10 kilometers of the car first, and it doesn't have torpedoes ready to go, it's dead. So, in my mind, this Yami, I can deal with him quite easily, but I need to get this Benson down because he has torpedoes. So there's Confederate. Benson just went undetected. Now I'm targeting the Yami with my secondaries because, again, Yami has a lot of 32 millimeter plating on him, and with the secondaries being the secondaries, they can pin that. So now Yami's about 5 kilometers away. It's a slow ship. Kurfürst isn't that fast compared to other tier 10s, but it's a fast battleship, so I can easily outrun the Yami, and there's no real danger of him ramming me here as long as I give him a wide berth. And the booster's firing on him. Gearing has his torpedoes out on him. And there's the Benson just popped up again. But again, not many of my secondaries could actually reach him if I would select him. And Yami eats 2 torpedoes. Just waiting for that cheek to become clear. And let's shoot him in the cheek. And I get a nice Citadel for like, what, 2,000 damage there. Alright, so my Hydra's about to come off cooldown. And I know the Benson's in that smoke, because that's where he's last spotted, and it's kind of obvious. So Hydra's off cooldown now, and hi, Benson. Now it's select him with my secondaries. I keep a hold of Damage Con, just in case the Benson manages to get a torpedo salvo off on me. Because that's the thing with the GK, she has terrible torpedo protection. And there goes the Benson, have Hydra up. I know that he didn't launch any torpedoes, so I now use my damage cut. Oh, there's the Saipan, by the way. Just 14 kilometers away from me. So, Saipan and Venezia are the last two ships on the enemy team. And gonna pop my heal now, finally. So we know we have this pretty much in the bag. It's a matter of now just who's going to be the last ship alive. And the Saipan's detected, Venezia's detected. But the Saipan's also slaying broadside to a tier 10 battleship, which isn't very good for its health. And naturally, instead of citadeling it, I am overpinning it because why not? Also trying to get within secondary range, but also don't want to charge straight at him. That way I can still get full broadsides out on him. And hopefully smack him out of existence. So open up again to get a full broadside on the Saipan. It's the thing about carriers too. A lot of times I underestimate how fast they're going. Most carriers are actually pretty fast. There we go. 7,000 damage Citadel. Again, joy. Most aircraft carriers at higher tier are pretty fast. If you play at mid tier, some of them are actually kind of slow. And the enemy team's at a whopping 9 points right here. And again, it's obvious that we're going to win at this point. But this Venezia player, I just got to give him credit because watch what he does. Instead of running and hiding like most people do at the end of a match, Venezia is just like, nah, I'm just gonna go for it. So I gotta give him credit there. I fired, I think, a little bit too high. No, he was firing at the Alaska. Okay, there we go. When I was playing this, the first I was like, what the heck was he shooting at the Neptune? Because he had way too high for that, but he did smack the Alaska there, pretty good. And you got a Friesland and Neptune and Cap, and ooh, just a little bit too low. I'm not sure if the Friesland was detected or if he was just going off of the muzzle flashes, but he almost smacked that Friesland out of existence. And Neptune dumping his torpedoes. Again, Venezia is actually a really tough armored cruiser. And you can see it's bouncing most of the shells that are being fired at it. A little bit too low there on the Neptune with its AP. He did have AP loaded there. And let's see what he does here. He's going kind of bowing. Launched his torpedoes maybe a little bit too early. Looks like he was going after the Alaska with his torpedoes. There he goes. Smacks the Friesland out of existence. And he's bound to the Neptune, turning bound to the Alaska. I take a shot at him in order to either bounce or mitigate the damage that the Alaska was throwing at him. I don't think he hit the Alaska with his torpedoes. Neptune's launched his torpedoes. I get a pin on him, actually. And, ooh, almost gets the Neptune there. So, nice last stand by that Venezia. If he got a little bit luckier with that Neptune salvo, he probably would have taken that Neptune down with him. Again, this way when you have 21 signal flags mounted, you get 17,000 base XP and then 14,000, not base XP, that's 17,000 XP and then 14,000 free XP. So, a wonderful career first game there. 6 ships sunk. Was kind of a ruffle slump there toward the end, but kind of balanced in the middle. And I just want to point out there, my secondaries between the pins, just pins that did 98,000 damage, and with the fires they started, they did over 100,000 damage. They did 12,000 damage in fires, 98,000 damage in pins. So that's roughly 110,000 damage. That is why you build into secondary career first, because yeah, not every game is going to be like that, but when it does happen, it is just glorious to watch and play, and just incredibly fun to play a ship that can do that. And yes, you do need to change, you do need to go full secondary build, but boy, it's fun. Alright guys, I just want to share that match with you, a great match I had in GK in the midst of all these potato teams that we're getting during quarantine. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and as of me recording this, we just passed 9,500 subs. So we are under 500 away from 10,000. Cannot thank you guys enough for that. Looking like we're probably going to break it well before the end of the month, and I cannot... It's just amazing, guys. When I started this channel back a couple of years ago, I thought 10,000 was like 4 or 5 years away, but you guys have proven me wrong. Hope you continue to prove me wrong. And again, hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.